All good, thank you. Thank you for having us. Was
And then
looking
there's
forward to
Roshi
it.
as well. So we're speaking to Goku and Roshi today, is it?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody.
Right, we'll give it
Welcome.
another minute, and then
Yeah, I was gonna
get
say, Glenn, we
everyone
can we
in.
can give it till sharp. We'll give it another minute, get some more people in here, and then we'll get the chat locked. We'll post all the links and everything, and we'll get the show on road. And as always, guys, like towards the second half of the AMA, there's gonna be a Q&A section, right? So if you have questions, raise your hands, and we'll try to get through as many as possible. And we are also live on YouTube. Welcome everybody. And we're going to be recording it, and we'll have the recordings for that as well.
Right, if Roshi and Goku are ready, I can start the recording and introduce you, and we can go into the Shima and Agar project.
We are ready when you are.
Awesome. Welcome to the Welcome Talk community. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have Shima and Agar joining us. Shiga Inama is the cotton ball bird. It's named after one from its first appearance in Hokkaido in Japan, which is maybe an anime series. We could go into that shortly, and all about the tokenomics, the NFT collections, and everything else. But first, can you introduce yourselves with your background and experience, guys?
All right. My name is Goku, and my background and experience is not in crypto in particular, but entrepreneurship, I would say. Putting work together. I've ran a company previously in the hospitality industry in Asia, and so I would say I'm more a entrepreneur than I would say a developer or someone that's very into tech itself. And so I've made it into crypto when Corona hit the world, and fell in love with it ever since. And here we are. And Roshi, if you would like to introduce yourself.
For sure. Yeah, my name is Roshi. My background is uh, uh, basically creative team and web development, graphic design, uh, video, audio, that kind of thing. Got involved with crypto projects several years ago, kind of helping out in those terms, and met Goku in the process.
Awesome, guys. So, yeah, for people in Europe and the States and Australia that maybe don't know about Shima and Agar, it's the cotton ball bird based in the Hokkaido, Japan series. If we could maybe go into it, I'm not familiar with it, and is it huge over there in Japan and Asia?
Thank you. I'm glad you said that you're not familiar with it, because that's the whole point behind it. When we came up with the branding, and we all are, whether we like it or not, we all love meme tokens. They have a special place in our hearts, especially for those that made wealth and a lot of money on them. They had their trends, and they had their momentums. And Shima and Naga, how that came together. I won't describe what Shima and Agar is. I would like to start off how it started and how I got to know it. And so what happened is, I always wanted to start a crypto token, right? But and I always wanted it to be a meme, because they're funny, they're cute, and they're adorable, and people tend to like them more than the kind of more serious projects that have a company logo, and it's catchy. People like it, but at the same time, I didn't want to do it like everyone else in the space, and because you see 10, 10 dog tokens launching every day, and no offense at all. We invest in them sometimes, we like them, but the main thing here is that they made their success when they were starting the trend, and it's all about, are you capable of starting the trend? Is the product that you have capable of starting that trend? And so I did a bit of research, and I didn't want it to be a cat. I didn't want it to be a dog. And I said, birds are good. And I've seen, 2 to 3 bird tokens that did well, not enormously, but good, and looked into birds. But I always was a fan of the Asian market. I know how big the Asian market is for meme / anime animated / cartoon characters, and how they tend to love it. I spent 4 years in Southeast Asia, so I have a bit of experience there and tend to know what they like. And so I did a bit of research to birds that tend to be in the Chinese culture. Didn't find anything attractive there. They're all a bit scary. So I said, all right, never mind. Nobody would like that. And so I digged into Vietnam, Korea, and I didn't find anything really there. But when I went into Japan and looked at birds, unique birds in Japan, I found the cotton ball bird. They call them cotton ball birds that, appeared not in an anime. They appeared in real life for the first time in Hokkaido, Japan. And they became a treasury for photography in there. You could see them left and right in news and, articles, social media. They became a treasury. And when I looked at the name, they first of all, what got me to it is how they look. They look like small cotton balls, but they are so adorable. They're so cute. And the name, Shima Enaga, which reminded me immediately of Shiba Inu. It's 2 words. It's similar. I was like, this is the one. And did my research there. And, I said, this is the one, but we definitely won't go with an animated version. It has to lean towards crypto, blockchain, technology. And we decided to go with the branding and logo as a pixelated, Shima Enaga cotton ball bird.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's an actual bird that no one knew about, and then it just appeared one day in Japan, you were saying. So has it been like crossbred with the other birds? Did they know where it's come from? Or is it
there is a breed of it, I would say breed, in the US, which is long-tipped bird, but they are brown. And these white ones, they appeared in Japan. That's everything I know about it.
Cool. Right. So yeah, if you can give us an introduction into the Shima Enaga project, what you're planning around utility and the meme side. I know you've got Telegram for global, China, Japan, and Vietnam. So you're branching out into a lot of the telegrams, and you're looking to build maybe a Shiba Enaga army.
Yes, sir. The thing here is, when we started Shima, we did not want to just have a meme token that didn't have a meaning behind it, because for me personally, I believe in that a token should have a meaning. And for the long run, if DeFi is going to do good, those projects that are launching on DeFi, they have to offer something to the public. It's either jobs, it's either because when you talk about utilities, usually utilities are being paid from the investors' pockets. It's taxes, it's this, you buy this, some of these taxes go to this, and it's you buying and selling something to your audience over again, unless there is some sort of utility that's generating outside income to feed the project, which is, that's an attractive utility to me. But we were thinking about, okay, what can we do? And Shima Enaga, I said, okay, let's do Bitcoin rewards. And it's something that you could market very well to the Asian communities, because they love Bitcoin and they love it when it's free. But then as well, Bitcoin rewards, they are not really, rewards in general, they are not very bullish in a project, because for the long run, if it's a short-term thing, then by all means. But for the long run, it's not, because the contract has to sell in order for it to pay what it owes to people and its holders, right? And considering that, we want to have the rewards, but we don't want to take passive income away from people that they will look forward to. And had one of the utilities that will be live approximately 2 weeks from launch. Immediately we will start off with the Bitcoin rewards, but because we believe they are not very good for the long run, and that exchanges won't be very interested in us by having rewards. We have a function in the contract where the rewards could be turned off and never be on again. It can't be switched on again, and implement staking directly as an exchange, which also would bring down the taxes, because our taxes right now, the breakdown of the taxes are 2% Bitcoin rewards, 2% marketing, and 1% into liquidity, which would leave us, once we turn it off, at a 3% buy and sell tax, which would be very welcoming to exchanges. That's one
great. Into the contract, because it's not always high volume, and when volume goes down with a reward token, but at the start of a project, and meme projects can be pumping for months and months. So, but yeah, you can turn that off, and then you would just have the 3%, or you could you sort of tweak it and raise the LP or the marketing in the future as well, that 2%.
Absolutely. What we were thinking about is at a certain stage of level, we want to reduce the marketing and increase liquidity just to stabilize things, and why? Because we have a very special marketing structure, and that's actually the main utility behind the project. Yes, the bird is cute, it's meme, it has potential, and that we have to acknowledge that, it has potential because of its branding. If we were to skip utilities, the meme, the name, the picture, that itself has a lot of potential. Okay, it's people accept it, and that's what it is. But the meaning, that's what we are very interested in, and we look into what, as entrepreneurs, we look into what people need, because an entrepreneur is not someone that earns money, is someone that solves problems and provides a solution for it. And what we believe the problem in DeFi is that there is not a lot of education. We had an amazing bull run 2021, but then things went south. And for me personally, I don't believe in bull runs and bear markets. I believe in something can do well, and I believe in volume. And I believe in that the general economy matters, because the moment money floods out, of course it's going to go down, and that's considered a bear market. It's not like a season, where you can plant things. It's all about how the general economy goes. And we always seen, even during bear markets, some projects do extremely well because they know how to reach out, how to adopt adoption, and how we are going to do that, because that's our main focus. For instance.
Awesome, yeah. And I saw you've got a 1-month AMA tour, which is great, and you've got a calendar out there. I've not seen that before in crypto, so you're thinking outside the box. And I'm wondering where the capital's come for the AMAs. Is it coming out of the core team's pocket? Did you have a private sale before the pre-sale?
All right, yeah, we did have a private sale, which is vested. We went with a 100 BNB private sale at first because we wanted to do a fair launch on pink sale, but after speaking to a potential partnership with a company, they believed a fair launch would not be beneficial for Shima and Agar and its potential, and that we would consider doing a pre-sale, which we went with, and today we have a pre-sale. But so once we did that, there was a bit of change in terms of the private sale hard cap. We raised it to 130. We filled 120. Thought that it doesn't need to be filled more, but that's what it is. And so that's the private sale. If you have any questions in terms of that.
So you've got partnerships with Farmer Doge. We're well aware in the community investors and the team here. We've had many AMAs with Farmer Doge. It's a great team. So how did that come about, and how are you sort of partnership working together?
Okay. That's the utility I want to jump in to, because a lot of people would be thinking, why did they partner with Farmer Doge, and why did Farmer Doge partner with Shima? What's the goal, or or the target behind it? And it's very simple. The space has been hurting. No education. A lot of people are against each other. They're fighting, and there is no unity, no love, There is no, help around. There is some people that are very beautiful that just get it. We are still human beings, and we should help each other, and we should be strong together. But the others that don't understand that, that's not their fault. The fault is that they didn't have the opportunity to get educated on how unity and love works from project to project, and what the benefit is that you're growing your community. And what we are doing with Farmer Doge, it's like a joint forced task, where we join together, both communities as one community, together up with more communities, and host those educational events, where we educate people. Because I can guarantee you here in this chat, and I've said it in many AMAs, less than 5% have read, for instance, the Bitcoin white paper, and don't know what DeFi is. They don't know what the breakdown of it is, and they think it's flipping one BNB to two, and that's not what it's about. It's decentralization. It has a bigger meaning behind it, and it's education. A lot of people, they don't look into an audit report. They see the audit badge, but do they know what's inside? No, because they don't know what to look out for and how to make improvements when deciding how to trade. Better decisions in general, in terms of should I get involved in this or should I not? And that's the reason why many people leave the space, because they take a big hit, and then they leave because they had a very bad first impression. But when we get together, and get out there to the public, host events. We have a partnership coming up soon as well that is going to gather people. It's Avenue, and where we bring special guests, to educate people. And what does that benefit us? It gets both communities engaged. And I'm going to talk about Farmer Doge, the CEO. When we partnered up with him, and when you partner up with people that are intelligent, that are open-minded, that see the good in the vision, when we approach them for the partnership, because obviously we don't want to just partner up with whoever, because we are trying to build a name, and they the same. They want to partner up with some project that they have trust in, and that they believe in the project and the commitment to. And what he said when we finalized the partnership, and it's not a paid partnership, by the way. It's based on love, love and unity. And he said, you guys, this partnership's not only going to give you access to my partnership, to my community, to my project, it's going to give you access to all my partnerships as well, including a whole music industry, and that's the reach, that's how adoption comes in. It's not about what can I do for you and what can you do for me in exchange. It's about how can we reach out there together, because if we do it together, we are stronger. And that's as long as we keep on doing that, especially with the talks now and plans, because we have just started pre-sale. We have done so much. We have done several partnerships before we even started. And, we are talking about an academy where we bring people, because the connections are there, the influence is there. We know the people that have the knowledge and have the connections to be there to try to make the space better. There is several out there, very respected ones. And it's just time to start somewhere with someone, just like we did Shima and Agar X Farmer Doge. And that's just the beginning. It's a movement. The utility is a movement.
Awesome, Goku. Which other partnerships are you looking at expanding into?
We have a few that are not disclosed yet. I won't be able to disclose them as of far yet. We are still finalizing things. But for those that are in our community and will follow our journey, will definitely be in the loop. We have a partnership, for example, with Valvero from Twitter, and that's for the marketing side, advisory on Twitter, because Twitter is a very hot topic for us. We want to trend on Twitter, and we have a group of professional Twitter, I wouldn't say raiders, Twitter people to work on Twitter. We have a specialist for trending, and this is not something that we pay for. It's it's just following the algorithm on how to trend on Twitter. And before we even launched, we've been, Stan and I was also part of the core team, training them on a daily basis, having meetings, training them on how we should do things and prepare for the movement, because we got to start on soon. And yeah, partnerships this wise, there is none I can disclose right now.
Okay. I'm wondering, yeah, about the core team, how you all got together, and have you been investors in meme projects, and you decided to do? Is this your first project, or what's the back?
Yeah. Roshi, I'll start with Roshi. How we got to Roshi, we were investing in another cat token a year ago, and that just went south. But this is the thing. I got to know him, and I got to know a friend of mine that's brought me in there, and they are friends in real life, and that's how we got to know each other. And ever since, we've been just in touch. We've been developing things in for crypto project, not crypto, I would say blockchain projects, in terms of websites and utilities and tools for developers and traders. And that's a project we have for the long run. It's just a website, no token. It's a utility website where there are several tools and utilities for traders and developers, and we've been working on that ever since. And that gave us the opportunity to know each other more, to trust each other, and we've been very, very close friends ever since. We have, yes, please.
There, or have you finished? Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, so that's how we got to know each other. We have Stan in the team, who I got to know recently, but built a very strong connection with, because we started a degen that went from 1 BNB liquidity to 200k without even marketing, and he joined in the middle, and then that we went into all these problems with liquidity and stuff. And that was a token that where the community came together and offered things, and Stan was one of those that came and said, hey, I would like to offer liquidity, for example, and then support the project. And we became friends ever since, and made very good friends. And he's one of the founders of Doge that went to 65 million back in the days, and very well connected. And he's a very good friend. We have Crypto Dutchy in the team as well, handling marketing and networking, which I've known for quite a while. But we have, and I really mean this. This is a very healthy team in terms of energy in the team. I've never been part of a team that's this healthy. Everyone understands each other. There is no, we share opinions, suggestions, and we always, come in an easy way to a perfect solution. And I'm just very proud of the team, and the trust is there. There's a lot of trust, but still, even though there is trust, we would like to go through a protocol, which is having this general security of the project a proper manner. And we, for instance, we are on a multi-sig, all of us, in terms of marketing funds and tokens that we are keeping for utilities and developments and so on.
Okay. And you are planning as well an NFT collection. I'm wondering if it's going to be on the Q-Bird, and will there be like rarities attached? How many are you looking to mint? Will you go cross-chain, multi-chain with the NFTs?
The NFTs, I'm gonna be honest with you. The artwork is ready, and it's a sick artwork. It's beautiful. It's just very attractive, and it's something that would attract the Asian market, the European market, the US market very much. It assembles characters, on the bird itself. It's not even moving. It's just attributes and traits. But here's the thing: before we are even looking into that, we are studying and looking into how to lock in the trademark and do things proper, because we have eyes on us for partnerships, and we have we have people that are willing to support us, that care about these details, and want us to do the right thing, and that only motivates us even more. So we are looking into that. In terms of whether we should have it on the BSC or Ethereum, here is my point of view. I think I generally think we would have them on Ethereum, but if we going, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not the NFT specialist, but we having a lot of advice from people that are very influential and know a lot about NFTs. We are trying to come to a useful utility, that doesn't hurt the project, the token itself, that rewards the holders of the NFTs, gives them access to things. And I think together with the partnerships that we have coming, we can implement something like that. We have a certain supply set to reward the NFT holders. And if we're going to do that, then they would need to be on the Binance Smart Chain. We'll see how that goes. I would be lying if I give you a correct answer, because it could change. But trademark, making everything waterproof is first priority right now.
Okay, and are you looking to have a DAO with voting rights for the community? With it being a meme project, would you look at sharing with the community and letting them vote on things?
As far as yet, we haven't considered doing a DAO. We have not. For instance, on Bitcoin, we did always ask the community. Every single decision has been taken by the community. I know Farmer Doge has ever since. Farmer Doge has a AMA with us on the 1st of September, and they're going to be voting on whether they should farm Shima and Agar, and for instance, these things. So, of course, the community, if you ask me if the community is going to be involved in decision making, yes. And that's going to be in terms of what benefits the community the most and the project, okay? But for the general decisions, I would like to keep it in the core team. But for what we're going to have as activities, events, and things that the community should be involved in, yes, definitely, we will always involve the community.
Okay, and are you planning staking pools, farming pools, anything around that in the project?
So, as I said earlier, once the rewards are going to be turned off, which we plan to do in 2 weeks, we're going to implement staking immediately, just so that no holders miss out on passive income. You can stake your tokens and get rewarded. Farming, yeah.
Locked or unlocked staking, I was wondering.
When unlock staking?
Staking or unlock?
The staking, the supply for staking is 20%, and it's locked for 2 weeks until everything is set to go live.
Can we go into the breakdown of the tokenomics?
The tokenomics. I'm going to be frank. We started with 2% liquidity, 1% marketing, and 2% rewards. But then thought about everything and changed, because we didn't go with the fair launch anymore, and changed 1% liquidity, 2% rewards, and with the right volume that could give us some very good rewards, and 2% into the marketing wallet, which would be needed in the early stages of the project, and that is on a multi-sig wallet.
Okay, I sort of meant the tokenomic breakdown. You said you put tokens aside for maybe central exchange listings, and how much for the pre-sale and the breakdown of the tokens.
All right, sure. Let me open up the spreadsheet so I give you the exact number of everything. But 20% is set for staking, and we have 15% set for CX listings, which we are in talk to with actually a few friends that are very well connected in the space, that know which exchange would be most beneficial. I know we have been looking into a Indian exchange, which we thought it might be something very interesting. We are looking into a Japanese one, but it's the Japanese one is really tough. It's not as easy as we thought, but we are looking into. We are setting supply for that. That supply will get unlocked in 1 month, because I think that's the time we need to make sure that we get on the right exchange.
And I see you're planning Twitter campaigns and trending, which is a great idea. I know Doge did it first in 2014, 2015, and it was so beneficial to them. You know, they just sort of grew and grew from hammering Twitter for years.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Twitter is limitless, right? It is amazing how much of outreach that platform has, and it can reach out to people in just a click. And it depends on how popular that tweet or that hashtag gets. And what we're trying to do here is trend by Shiba. Here comes Shima, and a few other hashtags. But what we figured out, because we met a very intelligent guy, both Stan and I, and he's working with us now, and he has an army behind him of 20 people that are working on that algorithm. They have an algorithm on Twitter on how you trend. It's not about like, retweet, and if you do the right research, you will see how it goes. And he just found out, and he knows how and how much of retweets and likes you need to get trending, and how often you should do it, because here's where the algorithm comes. It needs timing and so on, and this is just a smart strategy. But of course, if there's a big community, and everyone just does it all the time, kaboom, there you go. But what I'm saying here is, we are putting effort into the Twitter trending. We have done it ever since day one, before we even started private sale, just training the people that are working on it and making sure, because a lot of raiders in the space here, they go by themselves. They have their own way of doing things, and we had to train them. We had to pay them to train them on how to, implement that algorithm into the set of mindset they have of working. And it's been beautiful ever since. It's been beautiful. We are working, and the community engagement now is quite strong. If you go to a community, you will see, I would say, more than 50% with profile pictures, of Shima and Enaga, customized ones. And that's one thing we do. We want to show that we're strong, and we want to get to Twitter. Aside from Twitter, I would like to talk about the platform, if you don't mind, which is Program, if you guys have heard about it. Okay? We're going to be heavily focused on Program, because Program, in my eyes, is the premier app of blockchain and cryptocurrency communication and networking. It's clean, it's smart, and it's made for blockchain. If you go there and set up a group now, you will have your contract address there to make sure nobody gets scammed. You cannot post any links in terms of scams and contracts and whatnot. It's a very clean environment. And the funny thing here is, when you go to the iOS version, it's already very, very developed. It's very, very clean. They even have their own radio station in there, you see. And they are still in development. But I see where they are going, and I know that just to be part of Program from early stages, we've been looking at what they're doing, and Android version will be out soon. And they have been working every day, and they are very, very highly influential people that own that platform, that I know will put it out there. And as far as my experience right now, they don't even need to do marketing, because that is a platform that everyone in DeFi needed. It's a relevant environment created for crypto enthusiasts, and we're going to be there. We're going to be focusing there, because you can trend there as well. Okay, and that's an algorithm itself. But the connections, every room next to you is involved in crypto, and it's not all of them are just crypto projects. There's discussion rooms and here and there, and it's just the perfect environment. So we are going to host a lot of our educational sessions there on Program. Twitter Program is going to be a big focus.
Yeah, I heard of. Are they linked anything to Crypto.com Central Exchange or the Crow token? Did they just name it? It's coincidence. It's called Crow Program.
No, it's I wouldn't say so. It's Program, and the beautiful thing there as well is if you go there and there's NFTs, right, and you want those good NFTs, and they are not so expensive, but they are called keys. So it's a form of key, and it gives you access to whitelists. It gives you access to the metaverse. It gives you access to things that are related in crypto. I mean, come on, guys, we are sick of Telegram to a certain point. It's a challenge, okay? And that environment is just beautiful. But I don't think they are related to Crypto.com. But I wouldn't be surprised if if they are connected to them at all.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check out. That sounds really interesting and new for crypto. Thanks for telling us about that. And wondering about the smart contract. Have you had an audit on the smart contracts? And was the smart contract done by an internal dev or was it outsourced?
Okay, so the contract itself was deployed and customized by Monkey Shanti. Was recommended to us, and he deployed it. We checked out the contract. I have a call channel, small call channel, very humble one, and I'm partnered up with Interfi, that is an auditing firm that ran an audit on the contract, and it's certified. It's out there already, done.
Yeah, Monkey Shanty is well known to our community investors. Yeah, he's been here for many smart contracts he's done for lots of projects, and they never fail. So in a way, you don't even need an audit. But yeah, have you had an audit done, and are you planning audits after the launch as well?
Yeah, we I know what you mean. Yes, but we did an audit to have the audit badge, and then just to show people that we have an audit, and the audit is done. It's a protocol.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so going forward after you launch, well, we'll be going to the pre-sale first. That's live. Is it open to the public at the moment, or do you need a whitelist? Can you?
Yes. So what we've done, and yes, it's beneficial, and it's not at the same time because you miss out on contributions. But what we did is on Unicrypt, you're not allowed to have oversubscription, right? And we have given away a whitelist to trusted friends, preferred marketing groups and channels, and we've gathered only for 500 BNB hard cap 333 whitelist spots, which gives you a contribution of 1.5 BNB each. And this was advised to us by this company, because they said you don't want that fake hype, and that's true. It's not about how you raise your pre-sale; it's about what you do on launch. Do you have the hype? Do you have the right buy pressure? Do you have upcoming events? Do you have something for people to look forward to? And are you planning on running this the long term? Because that's what matters. And so the pre-sale went a bit slow with the whitelists, and it took 2 hours for it to go public. And now we are sitting at 177 BNB filled, and the soft cap would be 250. The pre-sale will end tomorrow, of course, and it's live now on Unicrypt.
And has the whitelist finished and it's open to the public yet, or when will that happen?
Yes, now it's open to the public.
Awesome. Yeah. So going into the marketing after the launch, what you're planning? We know the Twitter campaigns and trending, which is great. Where else are you looking to go on the socials? And yeah, what's the marketing plans for say the first quarter?
Okay, the marketing plan is going to be for the short term and the long term. It is exactly the utility that we have, education. Okay, yes, we are going to have sweet things and events and things that would just come out to the community, that will give us that exposure and give us that volume and so on. But for the long run, we are thinking about this as a company, and to market the company, to market the movement, and how we get projects together. And that's the real marketing. That's where adoption comes. That's what we will never stop doing. But in terms of we have a press release written already with some exciting news that we have about the project that will be released after launch. And that's one thing. We are in talks with because this is from Japan, right? So we want to give them the appropriate you know um, time and effort to put our name out there, especially if we are planning, like we are doing, to release a manga series in Japan to be sold, because that's business. And we are in talks and in touch with a Japanese marketing agency. We have as we said, our partners, and this is a movement. Our partners, for instance, the CEO of Pharma Doge, he lives in Asia, and actually we are talking about a joined marketing campaign that markets not only the projects, but what we do together. And so we have a lot of marketing plans. I would call it creative marketing. It's not the usual Telegram, Twitter posts. No, it's some real life marketing as well, because we want to get people in that are not in crypto, right? That's a beautiful thing, and especially if we are focused on education, that's the right people to have, because they don't know anything about it yet. So it would be an opportunity for them to come in, and we show you what to look out for, and we start from there.
Sounds exciting with the Japanese manga series on Shima and Agar, where it's super popular. That's a new type of marketing. Like you say, you come from an entrepreneurial background, so you're thinking outside the box to bring maybe new people that haven't bought into crypto before. So I'm wondering if you're looking at educational programs for new investors, as we go more mainstream in the future with Shima and Agar.
Yeah, here's the thing, because for example today we had quite some big guys trying to help us out, and we went on a Twitter space and we were talking. So I was like, we're thinking about an institution, and they were like, do you mean an academy? And yes. And they were asking, would you want to pay for that? Is there a subscription? I said, in the beginning, no. Let people know what kind of quality they get, because if we are able, like we are very confident about, to bring the right people to educate, because it's not only about what you say, sometimes it's about who says it as well, and what the experience is, and are they do they have what it takes to teach people? Because if you're going to be teaching people and educating them, that means you got to be on a good level yourself. And I'm going to be honest myself, I'm learning on a daily level. But getting together, and this is where I'm good at, and this is where my team is good at, it's networking. It's business, general business, getting people together. And yes, we have those qualities to bring people together, to educate them and have classes. And as I said, those things will be on Twitter Spaces. And in the beginning, we're gonna have on our website how you sign up and stuff, and it will be for free. But not only Twitter Spaces, Program. That's going to be a big hot topic. It's a vision that I already see right now.
Okay. And going back to the token, is there a maximum size wallet for investors? Is there anti-whale features, and are you looking at buyback and burns or anything there in the project?
I think buybacks and burns are. I'm not a big fan of burns, to be honest. It's as I've learned, like just like we're trying to educate, in the space, like I've learned from those that I'm looking up to, um, burns are not really, really good for you for the long term, especially if you are planning to run long term. And no, buybacks and development, maybe. We could do it. It's not like we don't, but once again, buybacks and burn. Why should I consider that if my focus will be based on adoption? And that's where the volume and that's where the momentum comes from. It's delivering with what we are doing, improvement, because we started with an idea now, and an idea turns into a vision, and once the vision turns to a reality, that's when the real work starts. That's when that where you're going, and it's just an idea now, but we already started implementing it, and soon enough you will get more ideas that will get you out there, and especially with the right team. Yes, that's what's actually, that's the biggest buy burn and buyback and burn.
Okay. And I was wondering, if there's a maximum wallet for investors, and if there's any anti-whale features built into the smart contract.
As of for now, 1% of the total supply is a max wallet, and 1% of the total supply is the max transaction as well. Once we get to bigger market caps, we can increase it for sure.
I see. Let's open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got a question for Goku at Shima and Agar.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, hey Glenn, I was listening in, and I love what I'm hearing, because I know education is very important, but at the same time it's hard. People don't want to learn about DeFi. It involves numbers and all this, and everybody assumes it's something super complex, right? But when you get something like, say, you were talking earlier about a manga, right? Or maybe a webtoon, something like that. What if you're just following the adventures of Shima through the DeFi space, right? And 5 minutes later, liquidity pools and all these stakings and all that is just explained in simple terms for you. Would that be better? Because I can see, like, people think it's super complex, super this and that, and it's hard to get on board and everything. But for some of us, it's gotten pretty easy, and it's great to see people like you that are trying to put it in even plainer terms for people, right? And I appreciate the fact that you're going with sort of a meme-ish, but not really meme-ish, because it has like some real novelty in the real world. So I think it can draw in a lot of people. And if that's the, say, mascot logo, whatever, and it's teaching people about these products, if it's like a symbol for simple use of DeFi, then I think it can be like super super great. And with the academy you're talking about, it's amazing, and we need more people that are doing this, because there is no magic pill. I can't give you a pill and all of a sudden you know what's been happening in the crypto space for 10 years, and in the DeFi space for the past 2 or 3 years, right? People need to have an easy way of accessing this sort of high level information, which then they can take and do whatever they choose with, right? And hopefully they'll become some good holders for Shima as well, but more so knowledgeable DeFi users, right? This is the end game, just getting more people on board, and I think you guys are on the right track, and I just wanted to appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot, and that's what it is. That's what it is, And here's the thing, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's what motivates us even more. It's not that we started with a vision. It's the people that adopted the vision. We have big people, that we could just throw a contract at and they could audit it for you in half an hour. Because that's what they do, that are supportive, that want to see this come through, and are like, they're sitting on millions. And when you talk about people in crypto, okay, they make a couple of millions, they're gone. No more Telegram, because they want to enjoy life, which I understand. But these people, they are there more than just wealth. They've made their millions. They make 7-8 figures a year, and they're still doing it. So when you come with them and tell them, hey, I have this, and they tell you, hey, I'm here for the same reason, to make the space better, that motivates you, because you have people with even further outreach, and people that you are not shy, people that you don't hesitate to ask for help, that are just there to help you and say, hey, let me hook you up with this dude, and then they've done it for us a few times. And I asked, would you be interested to be a special guest, for a specific topic. I reached out to Interfi and said, hey, would you like to come as a guest? And topics are being brought up on, for instance, why is audit important? What to look out for an audit, and features, and because it's not a badge, it's a report, and a report is meant to be read. So these kind of things, a lot of people don't know, and this is where I come from, guys. I've never been rich, like so on. I've made it a few times and so on, yes, but I've never been in that level, never had the opportunities in real life before, deciding to go ham on entrepreneurship, business only. And DeFi is a very big open door for a lot of people that are uneducated, because a token could change your life, right? If you hit the right token at the right time. And they need education, because they don't afford to lose, they can't lose. And DeFi, it's a risk, investment is a risk, but I think that there is so much that we can do out there. And it's not only because we want to help the world, we want to make the space a better place, because it's going to be just a better environment and a healthier trend. And I genuinely believe, if we are going to have a bull run again, it has to be an educated one, otherwise it won't work. And it's also to benefit the mass adoption of Shima, for instance, And what you touched on about the logo, everyone knows Shiba now, right? You look at Shiba, it's known. But when you look at it, that branding, that dog could have a meaning behind it since it started, an academy, for example, something that started great with the right people. And it can be done. It can be done. I think Shima is just catchy. It's very sweet. It's adorable. People love it. And I think it has what it takes to get there.
I think so too. I think it has the team, the drive behind you, and it is like you said. Everything in DeFi sometimes has to be a little playful, right? So I think you went the right way with the name and everything. People are following charts on PooCoin, and there are all these like dog names and everything that pump for no reasons and all. So the culture is there for this fun aspect. So the fact that you went through like the extra mile with looking to set a trend, right, with going in the birds and aviation and all this, it just shows a level of dedication and passion for it, right? And this is what we need, people that are passionate to teach others how to use DeFi better. And I know it may seem complicated for some, but people don't know how a combustion engine works, but they drive cars. They don't know how microwaves work, and they use cell phones, right? So once we get to the point where people will be using DeFi without having the need to understand all these complex mechanics and everything, that's when we'll see that massive adoption. So on your point with if we'll see another bull run, I think we'll see it. And yes, we do need more educated people going in there, because well, we've all seen what's happened these past 2 years. So I'm hoping for the best, and I'm very optimistic, and I like what you guys are doing. So it's great.
Big shout out to Acti. I appreciate your words. It's that's what we need. You see, you got it, and a lot of people will get it. Okay, and why did you get it? Because you've been around. You know what people have been suffering from.
Yeah, and but there's been a lot of people around. It's not just me or you or some of our listeners here. There's a lot of people that have been around now, a lot more than there used to be. So there's a lot more of us now. It's it's a good sign for me. So yeah, I'm bullish as well. It's and with this bear market and everybody suffering through it, I think it'll we'll come out of it stronger than before. And people like you that know that this is a time to build. There's a lot of people people out there that are building cool stuff, still working, still pushing, still doing their thing. So you know, it's still early, guys. What I'm trying to say.
It's when you say it's still early. Here's where I know how you think, because for me it assembles just like how Microsoft started its software company back early in the internet days, and boom, there it is, And I generally think that there is thousands and thousands of software engineers today, way more intelligent than Bill Gates, for example. Okay, but the difference is the amount of competition now is higher. Okay, and even if the software company does make it, Microsoft buys it. For instance, much love to Microsoft. I'm not saying anything bad, but it's just an example. And this is the same thing. We are very early, because look at NFTs. For me, I don't buy them for a flying dollar. Why? Because it doesn't intrigue me. It doesn't make sense to me. But what does make sense, and what I love, is the technology. I love them. I look at how nice they are, and NFTs for me, they have to have a meaning behind it. Something coming together. It has a story behind it. That's the memory. But the technology behind it, that something is non-fungible, but the technology of having ownership, digital ownership, and only you can have it. That's the point. And that's still very early, because it started with JPEGs and monkeys, right? But it's soon going to be houses and real estate and cars and whatnot, and treasury. That's what it is. It's a technology.
Yeah,
we are adopting a technology.
It's true, and it's like you said, the barrier to entry now for people that are really looking to learn, it's much lower. It's like you said, when Bill Gates came up with it, he wasn't just a Google away from fixing his coding problem, right? Well, now we can have all these connections, we can build something much cooler together, right? So we can get some pretty cool DeFi users on board, and because of the globalization, the system we're in, it can accelerate and skyrocket, and the knowledge spreads so fast, right? It's that's why people say, like a day in crypto is like 2 weeks in real life or something. Things move so fast, but it's the nature of the technology. We all love it, and yeah, I'm not gonna waffle anymore here. I see we got some hands up as well, so I'll let Glenn take some questions. So, but yeah,
Much
thank you.
love to
I
you, man.
really appreciate it. It looks nice, it looks nice.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for the questions, Acti, and conversation. Yeah, I mean, going back to what you were saying with Twitter Spaces, it is expanding crypto, and people are having general sort of chit chats. We're having chats with CoinStats tomorrow, and we've had Everise chats, but we're not actually talking about projects, launch pads. We're just having discussions in general about crypto. Really interesting conversations with big companies, small companies, bringing small companies together with larger companies, and yeah, so that's really expanding the space and is exciting going forward. And that's what you were sort of saying with Twitter campaigns and getting out there onto Twitter Spaces. We do that on Whalecoin Talk. We do AMAs on our channel, and then just fireside chats as well with different teams, launch pads, audit companies, and yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, we'll move on and open it up to community investors. Let's see, Syed, did you have a question for Goku here at Shima and Agar?
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Hi, Goku.
Hey, Syed, how you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Okay, so I have a few questions. So first of all, the 2% will go to the holders, and rewards are in Bitcoin. So I was wondering that these rewards are in reflection, right?
These rewards are rewards. They are not reflections. They are rewards, and they are distributed in BTCB, which is the Binance Smart Chain version of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and will these be on daily basis? How will that work?
That works on the volume. So, for example, it's different because it was a degen, but some people more on BitGrow, in Bitcoin rewards, they were a bit higher, but the amount of seriousness in this project is quite higher as well. and they made more than they invested. It's the contract basically distributes holders equally what it owes them in terms of volume. So, for instance, let's say we go to 30 million, right? And then there is because once you get to those big market caps, the volume increases on a daily basis. The daily basis volume is big because there's buys and sells, and this is where the inspiration comes for both tax and then Bitcoin rewards. Because yes, you can hire the tax and get rewards, but if there's a tax, you will get less investors and less whales that are not very tax friendly. Because I mean, if you're sitting on a few millions, and 10% is a lot to give away, right? But if you invest $1,000 and you're hoping for 10,000, you wouldn't mind to pay 10%, and that's where the adoption of a lot of volume comes, okay, at bigger market caps, and that should pay a lot of rewards. But as we said, we are going, because it's not a good combination. It's not a good combination to go along with rewards for the long run, okay? And that's why we're going to take away the Bitcoin rewards and implement staking, especially that Shima has plans for the long term. That should be very to not staking in native. And if it was a short-term token, it wouldn't make sense because the value of the token would go down if it's planned to be short-term. And yeah, so.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. So, okay, I was also wondering that in future, will you also going to have staking pool for BTCB so user can stake their rewards to earn profit? And do you have also any plan of maybe partnering up with DeFi apps where investor can use their BTCB earned rewards for lending, yield farming, maybe for liquidity providing, like other platforms like Fortube, Bakery, and Beefy?
Okay. We always try to be transparent, and if I said yes, we had that in mind, I would be lying. But there is something similar in a partnership that is about to be played out, rolled out as well. And if you don't mind me saying this, I would like you to stick around in the community and see what happens.
Yeah, surely, I surely will join the community.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, moving to next question. So you mentioned that the rewards are not sustainable for long term. So I was thinking that what will be the expected lifespan of these Bitcoin rewards on the BNB chain? And once these rewards are off, what utilities will ensure the longevity of Shima and Agar token and hype around it?
Okay, there is definitely, in my personal opinion, no hype about reward tokens if they are long term. They are nice when they are short term. For example, Degen, because Degens you would put in $30 and you $50, $100, and you will get a max bag, and then if it does well, go to million, 500K, you will earn a insane amount of rewards because the starting volume will be a lot. But in the long term, it's not very bullish because the contract needs to sell, right? And it's like you having a friend that's helping you, and then at the same time he's throwing you away, letting you fall, because that's what Bitcoin rewards does. Rewards in general, because the contract needs to buy them. It's taking out taxes, and it sells in order to complete a transaction to buy you Bitcoin rewards and then send them to you. And as we stated in the AMA earlier, we don't want to take away anything that's passive income, right? Because a lot of investors would be very upset. Now, I take away the Bitcoin rewards, but we're going to implement staking immediately. So it's going to be a transition from Bitcoin rewards to Shima and Agar staking, and the long. What's going to keep up the hype? Okay, it's excitement. It's what's getting delivered. Because here's where I come from. Okay, you introduce a project to me, and you say you're gonna have education, you're gonna have events. It could be celebrities coming over, for me, what excites me, I want to know that this project has potential to go up, because I don't care personally. I don't care about what passive income I could earn from it, or if there is passive income, by all means I'll take it. If there is no, what I want to ensure myself is that this token, because nothing is guaranteed, but I want to know that this token has the potential to go up in price that would satisfy me as a return of investment whenever I want to sell. Okay, and in order for us to do that, or any project to do that, there has to be something to look forward to, right? There has to be main events. There has to be, performance of the project. You could sometimes you go invest in a small company, and a few years later, your investment has turned into millions because they have made the right decisions about partnerships and about collaborations and about product proof of product. In the long run, and that's what it is. You're partly investing in the vision. Most importantly, if you don't believe in the vision, don't invest. That's my advice. But you're also investing in who's behind the project, because if the people behind the project get lazy, a lot of things will go sideways, unless it's a community-driven token and the community is willing to do it. That's my vision about it.
Yeah, it makes sense, and you explained that very well. So, moving to my next question. So, if I heard it right, you mentioned that you are looking to trademark a Shima Enaga bird corrector. So, it got me
Yes.
thinking that there will be many copycats trying to sell their token revolving around your original Shima Enaga. So, I was wondering that will the trademark registration prevent copycats? What is your take on this?
You see here, when you sell, for example, NFTs, and they don't have a trademark, they don't have copyrights, claimed, there is no value in it, because anyone could do it as well. It's a smart contract, and they could do the trademark then, and they would be the legitimate one. So you got to protect your investors from that, in terms of making them confident about what you're doing. And for example, our Shima Enaga collection, we had some very, very beautiful, sick. I don't usually use that term, but sick, traits that gives assembles different characters, but it has a lot of branding. For example, Nike and so on, and we had to change that and cover it up and do our own thing, because we don't want copyright problems and so on. And when you do those things, you see, that proves only more legitimacy in the project, that they are implementing further steps. They're thinking forward. It's not only about now and what we do now. It's about where we see ourselves in a year, in 2 years, and so on. And are we serious about what we're doing? And are we here for the long run, or are we just here for quick bucks? So these kind of things are very important.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, final question. So you mentioned that
But I have a
your
question for
contract
you.
is,
Do
yeah,
you have a
yeah,
list
come
of
on.
questions for me?
Well, your last one.
Let's go. I'm just joking.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so your contract is done by Monkey Shanty. So I was thinking that is the Shima Naga contract developed from the scratch or it's the fork contract?
We had our own implementations in the contract. For example, when we have Bitcoin rewards in the beginning, we have our private sale investors that are vested and so on. We wanted them to be hard code, not hard code. It's an implementation in the contract where they get vested, but still hold their tokens, so you can see them in their wallet, but they cannot sell until the vesting schedule is over. So we have these things. So yeah, it's a paid contract to be done from scratch. It's not a copy paste contract.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering my question. And you are working on a really awesome project. And best of luck to you. And it will hopefully be a next great thing in the crypto space. Thank you so much. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you for the question, Syed. Yeah, we do have enthusiastic investors that like to look at the white paper and ask lots of questions. Let's move on to Aisha. Aisha, you had a question for Goku. Go ahead. Are you there, Aisha? Oh, she's muted, sorry. Hi, Aisha.
Hi, Glenn. Thank you. Uh, I also have few questions to ask from Goku. Hi, Goku.
Hey, Aisha, how you doing?
Good. So, you are planning on creating manga series around Shima Inaga. I was wondering who will be the artist behind Shima Inaga manga, and will you be releasing any? Or will you be releasing only soft copies in the NFT form, or manga will also be released in hard copies?
Here's the thing. We are talking to a few artists that know about it and know what should be done, and which approach. Because we, here's the thing. The tough thing is not about doing the manga. The tough thing is doing a manga that is going to be implemented easily into the Japanese culture. Because we are trying to sell it in Japan, right? We are building the story there, and it which started there, and we are working on networking and making sure that once we release it, it's released as it should be, and not in a European kind of way, or American kind of way. Because just like we find some stuff funny in English, and for example, and it's a common joke, it's something that leans toward to be funny and so on. We need to find important key role players that know the Japanese culture. So we are working on that, and we are getting there. We are getting there.
Understood. I was also thinking who will be the target audience for your manga series? Will it be for adults or kids only?
I didn't get that question. If you could repeat it, please.
I'm saying that who will be the target audience for your manga series? Will it be for adults or kids as well?
I see what you mean. Okay. Here's the thing. No, it would be everyone. And if there's anything I know about mangas and anime in Japan, it could be a manga series for a 5-year-old kid, but a 30-year-old man would read it anyway, and that's the beautiful thing about it. They like the funny, they like the excitement, they like drama in them, and it's there is some specific ones that made for children and so on, but there is also some general ones that everyone could read and everyone could look at, and I think we're gonna go with the general one to start with.
Awesome. Okay, I also want to know, are you also planning on creating anime TV series as well featuring Shima Inaga?
Um, I would say we are not a lazy team that will say no, but I would say we better start off with baby steps and not jump onto a TV series yet, because I would be lying if I said we would be capable of right now.
Got it. Okay, I was wondering, do you have any plan of developing P2E game and integrate NFTs into pixel art game?
Um, we can have a game. We can. Have we decided on it yet? No. Do we know game developers? Yes, very intelligent ones. Are we planning to? We have to see. I think we have a. Here's the thing, Aisha. We are in a very important stage of building right now, right? And if there is anything that's most important and crucial, is the network of the project. How strong is the project? How well connected are you to your holders? How well are they connected to you? And these things, implementations and play to earn games and so on, they are fun. They're lovely. And that brings a extra utility and could be a marketing tool as well. But I think it's going to be a lot of work towards education, which I think it's more important than a game right now. As we said earlier, the space needs to be helped. We're going to do our part, and that alone is a lot of work. That alone is a lot of resources, connections, time and effort. And I'm glad to put that in together with my team, but would like to focus on that first. A a game is beautiful, right? But it's not rocket science to make it. Again, I always use this word. It's not rocket science. You hire a developer, you give them, you give them the specific routes you want of the game, and then the details, and it's all just the price of money, and it's done. But how much does education cost, and how important is that compared to a game? And I think it's going to be all about priorities in the beginning.
Yeah, awesome. That's really great initiative. Okay, last question from my side. I was thinking, who
One
first
question: why
designed
does
the
everyone ask
pixel?
4 questions?
Because I researched this project, I
I'm
was
joking. I'm joking.
thinking, like,
Go ahead.
no worries. Okay, I was thinking, who first designed the pixel Shima Enaga that we can see on your website and white paper?
It's the artist that I used, um, and and you mean the logo or the website? Sorry,
Logo.
the logo. Okay, it's a American artist that is a very talented NFT artist, and it took quite a while to do that, to be honest. Because when I showed him the Shima picture, it's first first edition came out as a chicken for me, and second one looked like a baby chicken, and like a chick, and it wasn't perfect until we leaned on to making it fluffy, making it pixelated, having those beautiful round eyes, and then going from there. So yeah, that's how we came onto it. And he's from the US, and he is also working on the NFT collection itself right now for us.
That's really awesome. Thank you. Thank you for answering all my questions.
Well, thank you for asking. It's nice to see some questions that are based on what you like. I think you like anime, and it looks like you like it, and anime
Yeah,
and manga and so on. That's why you're
yeah.
enthusiastic about it. So wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the questions, Asia. Let's move on to Western Beast. You had a question for Goku here at Shima and Naga. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Hi, Goku.
Hey,
It, you've explained this project in very elaborate details and made me understand quite a few things. But I have a few questions. And the first question I have, the first question I have is the fact that throughout the course of the AMA, I understand that you've been heavily reliant on the human resources and the strategic connections that you've made, especially the fact that you're connecting with very important and intelligent individuals in various aspects of the project. Um, my question now is that what resources are being used to fund these connections, or is there some kind of agreement between you and the Shima Egna team and those people who you've made strategic connections with?
if I get your question right, you are basically concerned about what's the deal for them to help us, right?
Correct, correct.
All right. And I'm going to be honest. It's transparency. The quest is here in this chat. Let me see. See, I don't know if he can speak, but the quest is the CEO of Doge. And when we reached out to him, and I'm telling you guys, we have a partnership with Doge, and there was no exchange of materialistic things whatsoever. It was based on seeing that there is something that needs to be done, and it's the right thing to be done, and it was support out of love. And I'm telling you, we are talking to people that sitting on $40-50 million, and nothing that I could offer them would satisfy them, right? Because they don't need it. But what is crucial and very important here is that they cared about what we were trying to start, and that's what they are supporting, and that's, we offered them tokens, and I can tell you hand on heart, they rejected them.
So, do you think that in a few years, when the Sigma Egna thing becomes the next big thing, and you probably offer them these tokens, as you know, as the fact that they helped you, don't you think what's going to be in it for them, or is it based on the fact that they didn't request, and then you're not really pushing them to do it?
There was one partnership that we were trying to close, Stan and I, and why they were interested is because when they asked us, what can I do for you and what can you do for me, we said it's not about that. It's about how can we be there for each other and how can we support a good cause. It's not charity, but it's education. Education is it's very important, and they are very highly connected people in this space, and education benefits them. It makes the environment, their investors around them, their people in a safer environment. And I'm telling you, those people, some people, they have a lot of money, and it's not about money. It's about if they believe that this is the right thing to do, and it's all about ethics and
I
integrity. I want to do something right.
get that. I get that. I get that. That's a very valid reason. It's a really wonderful project. My next question is on a statement. You already talked about the rewards in BTC and the fact that you have the BTCB, which is a Binance Smart Chain version of Bitcoin. These rewards, Bitcoin is a really, really volatile based on the fact that it's a very well-known currency. It's being well-known doesn't really exclude its volatility. So this reward, the reward system, what happens during the dip? I mean, we really experienced a very powerful dip, I think a few months back. How will the reward system, will it change when Bitcoin dips?
Oh, you mean if we will change the reward to something else? If
Well,
Bitcoin
if
dips?
that's what, if
Is that no? I'm
Bitcoin
asking. Is
dips,
that your question?
no.
If,
I mean, okay, what happens when Bitcoin dips? What moves will you make so that you keep your holders and the reward system in check?
okay. I mean, if Bitcoin dips and we still have Bitcoin rewards, that's what we all want: cheaper Bitcoin. But if we are not planning on doing the rewards for long term, and that's just me being transparent and my team with the community, because we believe and know for a fact that they want, benefit the project for long run. Because for the long run you want volume, you want adoption, right? And everyone knows that rewards are not. I'm saying this, for a few times today. It's not, the ideal thing. That's why we will change to staking. But in case Bitcoin dips and we are still getting Bitcoin rewards, so that's what everyone wants: cheaper Bitcoin.
Okay, so let's talk about the adoption aspect now. Um, you already made mention of some pretty cool utilities, but I wanted asking, um, how about real world utilities? I mean, there are some partnerships with real world organizations that you already made mention of some partnerships, but I think these partnerships are going to be encouraging in-house or in-projects utilities. Are there other external utilities that the Sigma Egna project is trying to achieve in the future? For example, maybe there was a project we talked about one time where they said they were going to be making purchases of maybe eco-friendly Bitcoin miners, which will still be allocating revenue. So what do I mean by an external utility? Aside from the utilities that the project will be generating, are there any partnerships that you've made that will be bringing out utilities from outside sources?
Mm, I get your question. It's an intelligent question, and that's what we spoke about earlier today. Utilities. What are utilities? Utilities are basically something that brings in value, right? And I see the most valuable utility, especially in something related to a cryptocurrency, is something that brings in value or revenue from outside of what the holders are paying, and that's what we are trying to do with the academy. For the long run, there will be some revenue generated, and these things, and you see here, when you grow as a academy, especially in crypto, you get connected every day, and that opens doors to even more partnerships, collaborations. But every partnership and collaboration needs to have a meaning behind it. I know a lot of projects, they do it to create hype, but there is no meaning if there is no meaning behind it. I mean, if it's just for the hype, okay, and then and that's where it doesn't last. But here we have a meaning behind it, and we will always try to improve what we are doing. And that itself is the utility.
All right, Goku. It's a really wonderful thing. I really wish, I look forward to seeing the academy. I'm also a big anime fan, so my next question and my final question will be anime connected. You already talked about the manga series. You also said that you might probably be broadcasting an anime. Would you be broadcasting it in seasons? Will there be more and more seasons of the anime coming out?
We haven't looked into anime. We have looked to the manga series, and the manga series will have several um, series. And this is something Acti said, maybe start the manga series with how Shima did in DeFi. This is something very interesting. Or maybe just have the manga series as what the vision is and how we imagine the vision, which could be something very, very interesting. But not anime at the moment. No, it's just going to be manga. And yes, there is going to be multiple seasons, but we're going to start off with the first one first.
All right, Goku. That will be all the questions from my end. I really appreciate your very detailed answers. I really wish the Sigma Egna project the best, and I hope the project stays bullish moonward.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate
Over
you.
to you.
For the questions, Weston. Let's move on to
You have
Venice.
some pretty impressive people asking questions in this community.
Yeah. We do we're a big growing community, and they get really involved. And if they like a project, they'll come in and ask great questions and read the white paper. And so yeah, Venice, you had a question for Goku at Shima and Aga. Go ahead.
Yeah, Glenn, thank you so much. Hi, Coco. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. And this is really great anime. I have been listening to you guys, and it makes me really happy to just listen a very good AMA today. So I have a couple of the questions to ask. I won't take your time, as I know we are at the end of time. So uh, as I was surfing your website, I saw you have really nice plans for the NFTs, and you mentioned that NFTs are ready and they are really sick. Like you said, you don't want to say that word, but they are really awesome. So it got me thinking that will there be any audio NFT where you have this beautiful bird and its sound attached to it as well?
That's a nice one. But what we have proceeded so far is static pixelated NFTs.
Okay, so will you do any interactive NFTs or any audio NFTs in future?
Not what I know of right now. We, as I said, earlier, we are very realistic. We will never promise something that we will not deliver or not have in mind, right? Because we shouldn't do that. That's just bad. And we are taking things slow, and not slow. I mean, we're doing quite well, but we don't take things. I mean, we've done a couple of videos to make sweeten up things and so on, which we will continue to do. But the NFT collection, I think we should start with what we have. It's a beautiful idea, though. I love it. But it's just like how if we wanted to do a TV series, and it depends on what do we want to put more effort into in the beginning, because obviously if we are a team of 4 or 5 people, we won't be able to do a lot more than our capacity, because we are already, like, for instance, today I haven't slept for now I've slept in 40 hours, probably 1 hour, and we are already working very hard. So in future, maybe. Right now, not really.
Okay, understood. And as you are being realistic, and you said that everything that you have in your project, and if you don't have anything, and you are being so true with us. So one thing I want to know that as we know, when we listen to the AMAs, people when representing their project always say and tell about their strengths of the project, but I want to see your team's perspective and your own perspective. Like, can you tell me the weakness of your project, or maybe obstacles during developing this project?
I will definitely not promote the weakness of my project, but um, I would tell you, is Roshi in here? Roshi, are you there? Let me see if I can.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, what's up? Sorry.
All right. Would you like to answer that question?
Sorry, could you repeat it for me?
Okay. So he wants us to describe realistically, and I know you're a very realistic person. Um, what's our strength in the project? And he wanted to know our weaknesses in the project as well, which I said I don't want to promote, but it's up to you if you want to say them.
Yeah, 100%. No, strength is definitely first in community and team. Like the community that we've built is organic. It's not botted or artificially inflated and things like that, because we know that that doesn't build a long-term project. And I think Goku mentioned it before, but this is definitely one of the healthiest teams that I've ever been on, but certainly the healthiest team in terms of a crypto project. So obviously healthy team, healthy project. I think that's some of our biggest strengths, and just having some really complementary skill sets. I can tell you for sure that Goku is strong where I am not. Maybe a little bit vice versa. I typically stay behind the scenes and work on back end development, things like that. But every now and again, Goku drags me into these things, and you guys have to listen to me. So, you can blame him for that. In terms of weaknesses, honestly, as is kind of like it, and I'll answer probably the toughest question maybe you guys can throw at me right now, which is, if you pull up the pre-sale, why isn't it filled yet? Well, one of our greatest weaknesses right now is the market, which is it's everybody. It's not just us. So it's a tough time to try to launch a project, and then it also kind of dovetails with the specific to us weakness, which is the fact that we're very careful who we were building this project on. We could have definitely gone for a lot more numbers, just brought in everybody that we possibly could, try to inflate everything at the beginning. But we didn't want to do that, because we know that always just leads to a dump as soon as it 5x's or 10x's or whatever. So being very selective means that things can grow a little bit slower. Things aren't going to necessarily have as much momentum at the beginning. Although I would say we have a fair amount of momentum for sure from the community, but just being very careful. It looks different than some other token launches can, because of we were really trying to avoid just being another launch that pumps and then 3 weeks later is gone. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's kind of my perspective on it.
Okay, that was really a great answer. I think it was the, as you mentioned, toughest question. So you guys are really doing a great job, and thank you so much for answering my questions as well.
How come you only had 3 questions?
I have
Can I
a
ask
couple of
my
the
question?
questions. I had a couple of the other questions, but while others were questioning, and you just answered my questions while answering them. So I got my questions answered when they were just questioning you.
Thank you for the
There
question.
you go, Goku. He didn't have extra ones because I answered them before he asked them. How about that, Goku?
Thank you for the questions, Venice. And yeah, unfortunately, we're running out of time tonight, so maybe we can do a closing statement, maybe a recap for investors that joined later on in the call. Did you get that?
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, we're running out of time tonight, so I was asking, yeah, can we do a closing statement and maybe a bit of a recap for any investors that joined later in the call?
Right. Well, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm actually very tired, but I'm happy to be here. We have had a pre-sale today, and we haven't had a lot of sleep. But what I would say to those that have joined at the end, and we've been here for quite a while. It was a lovely. It's an AMA with quality, which I love. It's all about. For those that missed, please join our community. We are always live on VC. Get to know us. Before you invest, get to know us. But for those that have been here, and this is a message for you guys, right? And I never give financial advice. I always say, if you believe in something, then maybe you should invest in it. But I'm going to tell you one thing, okay? If you're going to invest in something that has vision, okay? Invest in something or someone that has drive. Our pre-sale is live right now, and this is us being humble. I know what we have coming after launch, and here's the thing, we could have filled 2000 BNB on a fair launch with and guaranteed 100% guaranteed. But we didn't do that. Why? Because we had other concerns. We had other concerns about our project. We don't want to be a short-term project. We want to be a long-term one, okay? And we don't want to harm ourselves in the beginning. We've always been careful, like Roshi said. And I want you guys to appreciate that, because when there's a team being careful and care about the people around them, they should deserve, support. I will never promise wealth to anyone, but what I can promise is we will never let you down in terms of security and performance. So guys, all pre-sale is live. If you feel like this could be something to you, this is something you want to be part of, get that link in our Telegram channel. Go throw your beans. Let's move it. We are here for the long term. If you still want to get to know a lot about us, and don't feel comfortable yet, join our community. Get to know us. That's all I have.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Goki and Rafi, for speaking today. Goku's a great speaker for the Shima and Agar team and community. He's very open and transparent. That's great. That's what we want to see on the BSC and the crypto space. So it's been awesome speaking to him tonight. I think the project's in safe hands with a cool team that's thinking outside the box and has a lot to offer with Shima and Agar in the future. So, but as we say, we welcome talk. It's for research and educational purposes, not financial advice. You can check out the website, the white paper, and the official socials in our main chat. And if you've got any questions after the AMA, we can get you safely over to the official socials as well. I'm sure the team will be open to discuss anything after the AMA today. I think we've got spin the wheel for 2 lucky winners as well, $50 each.
Yeah.
My name on there.
Sorry, Goki.
You better put my name on there.
Oh yeah, everybody's name is in there. Well, we had an instance actually 2 days ago or something when the main speaker actually won, and I didn't catch it. We were doing multiple spins and I didn't catch it because he would have probably wanted to give it away to someone in the community, but I didn't catch it. We ended up messaging him. It's like, okay, we'll just give you the prize, don't worry. So I got everybody's names. I'll shuffle it here. We'll do 2 spins for $50 each, and I'll get your IDs. We'll DM you for your wallets. We'll send over the prizes. And the chat is still locked, guys. We still have all the official links in our main chat. So if you're curious about something, if you heard something you like, I know we try to keep it sort of high level and don't go in depth in I don't know, maybe in the technical parts and all this. So if you're more on the tech side, make sure to go to the official website, navigate to the official links, go join the community, and I'm sure there's someone there that'll be more than happy to
Awesome,
answer
man. Yeah.
all your questions. Okay, I got both of your IDs, guys. Amanda Wood and Turtleman here. Well, probably Dizzle will be the one DMing you for your wallets, and we'll send over the prizes. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. This has been an amazing AMA with Shima and Aga. Thank you Goku and Roshi for being here. It's really been amazing, and the fact that you guys are focusing on education is what really caught my eye, and what we're trying to do here as well. So it's an uphill battle, but I think we're getting there, guys. So keep on keeping on here.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very
having
much.
us.
Pleasure to be here.
Yep, Goku and Roshi, take care, and I'm looking forward to the pre-sale and launch for Shima and Agar
Right.
and the team and community. I'll
Right.
finish
Thank
the
you very
recording.
much.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward for futuristic events. We're all here for education.
Awesome, Goku. I'll finish the record and send over a copy for you to share with your community, and I'll send that into our main chat for any investors that couldn't join the call today.
Amazing, Glenn. Thanks.